Open your book to page 65. And let's look at set 2 as an example. So again, this is the lesson on simplifying square roots. But this time, the number does not come out exactly. So you need to know what to do with it. So if you look at number 1, you have square root of 11 to the 5 power. So now it does not divide exactly. Now if it's 6 power, then you know it's 11 to the 3, right? If it's 4th power, you can make it into 11 square. But now 5 does not divide exactly. So what you need to do is you need to go and separate this into 2 parts. You're going to separate into one part that is good and one part that is the leftover. Okay, so you need to separate this into 11 to the 4 and 11 to the 1. So again, remember this means there are 5 of them. Okay, that's what this means. 5 power means there are 5 of them. Okay, so you know that you can separate this into nice, right? But this one is leftover. So that's the reason to separate these into 2 parts. So one that way, you know, come out nicely, and this is whatever is left over. Okay. Now don't separate into like 3 and 2, right? Because 3 is still going to get messed up, right? Okay. So separate get as much as the good part that you want. Then from here you can go and simplify. So this part will give you 11 square, and this one is a leftover. You cannot simplify these, so you have to leave that alone. And then so this would become 121 square root of 11. And that is your answer. So again, sum up what we're talking about. Okay? So when the thing does not come out exactly, does not come out nicely, you separate into 2 parts. The part that's nice and the part that's kind of junk, the leftover part. Okay? And then this will come out nicely, and this is the leftover, and you multiply out, and that's it. Okay? So let's go ahead and do number 2. Square root of 3 to the 9th power. So separate into 2 parts. Again, does not come out exactly. So separate into 2 parts. So 3 to the 8 and 3 to the 1. And so now you're going to use the square root to simplify that. So once you change the number, once you simplify, the square root is gone. Do not keep hanging on to your square root. So this becomes 3 to the 4 and the square root of 3. And so you can multiply out. 3 to the 4th power is 81 square root of 3. And that is your answer. Okay, so let's go and do a few more. Okay, let's go and do number 3. So number 3, you have 2 to the 6 and 7 to the 5. So this is kind of nice, but this is not. So again, what you want to do is break it down. Okay, don't do too many steps at a time. Do one step at a time. Okay? So first, you want to break it down into good part and a junk part. So this one is good, so leave it alone. Be careful how you write your exponent. Okay? So this is good, so leave it alone. This is no good, so separate into 7 to the 4 and 7 to the 1. Okay? So now you can go and simplify. So this becomes 2 to the 3. Okay? This one becomes 7 to the 2. And this one cannot simplify, leave it as a square root. Always put a square root on the back. Now you can go and multiply these things out. You can use your calculator. Okay, but before you do that, let's go and work this thing out. So this becomes 8. And this is 49. Okay, and then you work it out. So you get 392 square root of 7. And that's it. So you can go down step by step, none of everything as much as you can. Okay. Let's go to number 4. Square root of 5 to the 7 times 3 to the 5. Okay, so again, let's go and separate into good part and a junk part. So this one, both are bad. So you got to make into 5 to the 6 and 5 to the 1. Right? 7 make into 6 and the 1. Now the 5, you need to make into 3 to the 4 and 3 to the 1. Right? So you can separate into good part and a junk part. Good part and a junk part. Now that's going to simplify. So this will give you 5 to the 3. Again, once you simplify, the square is gone. And this will become 5 to the 1. So this one cannot. This one 3 to the 4. When you square root, becomes 3 square. And this one you cannot, right? So now let's go multiply this together. So this will give me 125. again, you want to group them, right? You want to get an integer on one side and the radicand on the other side. So this will become 9, and you get square root of 5, square root of 3, right? And again, these are different kind of number. These are integer. You only can multiply same kind of numbers. So multiply number with number, integer with, radicand with a radicand. So integer times integer give you 1125. Radicand 3 times radicand 5 will give you radicand 15. Again, these are integer. Okay, these are integers. These are radicands. You only can multiply same type of numbers. Okay, you only can multiply radicand with radicand. Multiply integer with integer, and that's your answer. So you need to know what to do with the exponent when it does not come out nicely. Okay, now let's go over what to do with the number that does not come out nicely. So let's look at number 9. Square root of 432. Okay, so again, you go to the sign. Now again, you always start with 2 and check and check, right? So it's even, so you can divide by 2, so it'll be 216. Again, you keep doing the 2 until you can no longer do it. So divide by 2, you get 108. Divide by 2, you get 54. Divide by 2, you get 27. Divide by 2, 3. 2 cannot, right? 3, you get 9. Divide by 3, you get 3, right? Okay. Now, some of you kind of don't like it to have 3 hanging down here. So if you want to do these, that's fine. So that way you get all your number on the side. That's fine too. Okay. So now let's go and start to gather our number. So again, 2 radicand make 1 integer. 2 radicand make 1 integer. 2 radicand make an integer. Leftover cannot. So leftover stays inside the square root. Right? You have nothing. You have no other number to pair up, so it stays inside the square root. Again, 2 radicands make 1 integer. 2 radicands make 1 integer. 2 radicand make 1 integer. 1 radicand cannot, so it stays inside. Then you multiply out, you get 12 square root of 3, and that's your answer. Right? 2 times 2 is 4, times 3 is 12, and that's your answer. Okay, so let's go and do a couple more. Okay, let's do 16. Square root of 675. Okay, so 675. So you can divide by 2. Cannot. Divide by 3. Can you divide by 3? Well, let's add up the digits. So if you add up the digits, you get 18. Yeah, so you can divide by 3. So divide by 3, you get 225. Okay, can you divide by 3 again? Yes, you add up the digits, you get 9. So divide by 3, you get 75. Can you add up digits? Yes. So divide by 3, so you get 25. Okay. Now, can you divide by 3 again? No. So you have to go to the next prime number. So you get 5. Okay. So that's it. So again, if you want to do that, that's fine. Keep going until you get 1. Okay. So now you can start to group them, right? So these 2 radicands make 1 integer. This one I'm not going to pair up. So 2 radicands make 1 integer. The reason you want to circle them so you can keep track. So that way you can see, okay, this one is a leftover. So this one stays inside. So your answer would be 15 square root of 3, and that's it. Okay? Okay, so let's go and do the next one. So page 65, number 2 through 16 evens. Again, we always do set 1. Always do set 1 for practice.